And three of his players joining us now here on our BTN live set. Jerald Foster, offensive lineman. Stanley Morgan, wide receiver. Mick Stoltenberg, defensive lineman. I want to ask each of you guys about Coach Frost, first of all. So just give us a sense for how he has changed your program in the short time he's been there. We can start with you, Mick, and then just work our way down.
Yeah, right away, just that initial meeting, you know, you can see how competitive he is as a coach and as a human being. It doesn't matter what it is, he's going to compete, and I think that's kind of what he's trying to instill in us, is just that competitive nature. I'm going to say it first. This is his big thing, is you know, do everything with a desire to excel and no fear of failure. So that's kind of his big mantra. To us, that means, you know, no matter what it is, going with you know, the thought that you're going to win the game or win whatever you're doing, to win the job or whatever. And, you know, if it doesn't go your way, that's fine. Just move on to the next thing. So that's kind of the main thing that he's kind of given us.
How about you, Stanley?
I mean, the coaches, I mean, you go into a guy like that, I mean, he's been in the position we are in right now. He's easy to follow because he's been in the same cafeteria. He's been in the same weight room, the same field. So it's easy to follow that guy.
And just to pretty much reiterate what they've already said, I really do feel like Coach, being somebody that has been in our shoes, somebody that understands that, you know, if we all go for, you know, success without thinking in our head that, you know, he's not going to play us. He's not going to let us come back after we have a failure. I think it allows you to strive to be better. It allows you to push on to be more than what, you know, you thought you could possibly be. So with the way that he allows us to push forward, to be better, I think it really has it's allowed our team to really go for the competitive edge. It has.
What's his style like, Jerald? Because he's a soft-spoken guy. I mean, he's not a, you know, over-the-top kind of rah-rah type to us. I mean, at least externally. What's his style like internally? Well,
he's probably the most competitive person I think I know. That style is what's really made its way throughout our whole team. I feel like the culture of our program is now based on being able to be competitively, you know, you should be able to go out and compete in anything that we do. We do it from our lifts all the way to us working out in the weight room, you know. If it's not us trying to see who can beat the other one in a 40-yard dash or something like that, it's us trying to see who can beat the other one in a video game, you know. Just having that whole drive to be better, I think that's what Coach Frost is all about. Him being soft-spoken, you know, you don't really see him, like, losing it, but you can tell when you're on the field, like, throughout the spring, you could tell that he was, you know, really passionate about us doing the things right and us competing every single chance we got.
Mick, well, let's get into one of the areas that needs to be more competitive, and that is the defense. It was not a good year for you guys last year. How do you go about rebuilding that group and rebuilding its confidence?
Yeah, you just said it right there. It has a lot to do with rebuilding confidence, and that, you know, that starts in the weight room with the workouts we do with Coach Duval. You know, if you can attack a workout, you know, and get in there and lift more than you thought you could lift and continue to see those numbers go up, or maybe you feel like you're a lot faster or more explosive, that's going to translate to the field. You know, those type of things really do carry over. Also, I think we need to place more of an emphasis on creating turnovers. I know that's one of Coach Shanahan's big deals is, you know, a lot of times the most successful teams are creating the most turnovers or have a really good turnover margin. So that's definitely something we want to work on.
Stanley, give me a sense for what this offense is going to look like.
Oh, it's going to be real fun. I mean, we're getting guys the ball each and every type of ways. I mean, these guys are throwing it deep. These guys are getting the ball to the receivers out the backfield. I mean, it's going to be a lot of tricks, and we got up our sleeves, so it's going to be real fun.
Your position group is an area of great strength, I would say, for this team. Yourself and J.D. Spielman, the most obvious guys who stand out. How do you feel about that group, particularly given the inexperience at quarterback and the role that you guys can play in helping those guys along?
We play a big role in helping those guys. I mean, those guys are young quarterbacks, so it's up to me and J.D. and those receivers who's played in the game to help those guys grasp what they need, you know, and to overcome whatever they need and help those guys get those throws they need to make.
Jerald, I'm interested from your point of view. You're a Lincoln native, so you're a home state Husker. How would you describe the hold that this program has on the state and trying to articulate it to guys who maybe aren't from there?
Well, just understanding what Nebraska means to the people. There's no place in this country that the whole state is behind one team other than Nebraska. We don't have any, competitive rival that's in our state. We don't have a NFL team, any, hockey team that's like at the premier level. So it's just us. This state's all behind our success, and then for us to be able to get a guy like Coach Frost to be here and to bring not only our team along, but to bring our fans and our alum back into being going in the same direction, that's something that's amazing. And with his leadership and the culture that he's already instilled in us, I believe that we're going to have a great year, and the program's going to be able to succeed in the years to come.
Well, Coach Frost, of course, gets most of the publicity as a head coach would. You mentioned Coach Chenander, though, the defensive coordinator. Give us a sense for him and what he's trying to infuse in this group.
Yeah, like I said, one of his number one things is just starting to create more turnovers. I think he also wants us to be more aggressive, and that kind of goes along with Coach Frost's desire to excel, no fear of failure deal. Guys selling out to make plays within the realm of your responsibility, maybe going for something that is maybe more off your intuition or something you might see out of the offense. Just things like that. I think it's starting to kind of materialize a little bit. It's tough to get guys that maybe played timid in the past to start taking those shots, but I think that's something we're starting to build.
Stanley, I mentioned the young quarterbacks. Give us a sense for the skill sets of each one of the guys that you've been working with.
Adrian, he's a leader, a young leader that I can't even explain it. And Tristan, he's been kind of like, I don't even know how to explain it. He comes into the weight room when the janitor's not there. He leaves when the janitor's gone. He's in and out of the weight room all the time. He's always working. He's a great guy.
What have you seen from those guys?
Well, I would say just them being young guys, I see a competitive nature of somebody that would be like a fourth or a fifth year senior that's going after their last couple years of being able to play. They play as hard as, the older guys, which is something that you just don't see out of the young usually. I really am. I'm happy that they're all, striving to be better, going against each other, but at the same time pushing, one another with a positive aspect. Like, if I don't get it, at least I know that somebody that's been working as hard as me is going to be able to be the one in the role of a quarterback this year. So with all of that working out, and with us having experience on the O-line and in our skill positions, I think that's going to be able to open up the door and allow them, whoever steps into that spot, to be able to have great success in what they do.
Jerald, you mentioned hard work on the field. You're a hard worker off the field as well. Already graduated, an academic All-Big Ten pick, and quite an artist. We're looking at some of your artwork that you post, and we're going to show some of it here. Some remarkable stuff. Give us a sense of, as we take a look at it, that's Sam Foltz, right?
Foltz.
Yeah.
It's his day-to-day, man.
What role does art play in your life?
I would say whenever I'm able to draw, it really just gets me away from academics, sports, just from life in general. It's my me time. It allows me to do what I love, something that's not really for anyone else. I don't really draw any of this for anyone else. It's just for myself, so I can feel like I accomplished something small. I love it being my passion, my side little something, but it's nice, I guess. I don't know.
That's fabulous stuff. Have you guys seen all this stuff?
Oh, yeah.
I haven't yet.
I've seen it.
I didn't know you could do that well.
This is new to you?
Yeah, this is new.
What do you think?
I think it's amazing. Got real talent.
Yeah, no doubt. You've got some talent yourself, a lot of off-season accolades, your big mention among the NFL draft candidates and wide receiver. How do you put all that stuff on the back burner and kind of focus on the here and now?
I'm a humble guy. I just use it as motivation. It's keep working, I hear a lot of the things, but it just makes me work even harder, just to get back to my basics throughout the summer, stance and starts and all type of things to make my game even more better.
You were talking about the style of play, and of course, Coach Frost is known as an offensive genius, so I'm interested from the guys on the offensive side of the ball, what should we expect stylistically? What's Nebraska football going to look like?
Well, from what we just came from was more of that pro style. We'll be going to a no huddle. Us pushing the ball, pushing the defense, and really trying to go for those hiccups, when the defense isn't ready or the defense isn't able to get in the blitz that they want. And the way that our packages are set up, it allows for when we see those holes, we'll be able to strike. And what I would say to be expected is us taking those shots, us taking the big plays, us getting back to more of the outside zone kind of run game of us just running to one side with the whole O-line. And now that, us having the quarterbacks that we do have this year, you're going to see a little bit more out of the backfield when it comes to maybe a scramble from the quarterback. So it's going to be a whole lot of fun. I'm excited about it. Haven't had a rollout quarterback since old Tommy, so it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out for us.
So a new look on offense. You're hoping to get back to the old look on defense. That includes the black shirts, which is something I know that's near and dear to Scott Frost's heart. He's talked a little bit about what it's going to mean for the black shirt defense and who's going to get a black shirt and who's not. What has he emphasized to you in terms of the black shirts?
I guess kind of getting back to those basics. We want to honor the past, and the black shirt mentality that transcends any generations or years that have passed since its inception. So, we're trying to kind of get back to those basics, and it's really something you take into your everyday life, everything you do. Competing hard, being relentless. It's definitely something that we want to get back to, and it's cool when he's got a lot of connections of old black shirts that can come back and talk to us. I know Coach McBride talked to us after one of our spring practices, a longtime defensive coordinator at Nebraska. And, it's awesome to have those connections and kind of try to get back to that. I guess honoring the past while kind of looking forward to the future.
How will you guys define success with this team this year? I'm interested in each of your takes. Mick, you can start. We can work our way down to Stanley.
Just for me, what we've been working on this offseason and kind of to the fall is just developing a competitiveness and kind of an edge, I guess, mentally, a mindset where, no matter who we're playing or what the situation is, we can be competitive. I want to see a team that when we're down a few touchdowns, you don't see guys letting go of the rope. You see everyone pulling in the right direction, kind of trying to get each other out of that hole. That's definitely what I want to see from the guys this year.
Yeah, I'm on the same page. I mean, I want guys to compete and just go out there and be the best player they can be, just not try to outbeat the guy next to him, but go be the best player you can be and do your job, and everything will gel together.
I would say success is us understanding one another as a unit. When all 11 are out there, if you're able to understand the guys that are playing with you, if you're able to understand exactly what the mindset of each person is, I feel like that's when you're able to really reach out and be the best that you can be, because through you, you can't do too much. But through your whole team, through the 11 out there, that's when you're able to get touchdowns. That's when you're able to do these breakout plays where, O-lineman gets one block and he's going to the safety because he just wants it for that running back to get that one, half a second where he can split corner and maybe a corner coming over the top, something like that. I feel like as soon as we're all on the same page, that's when you can get the real thing of success.
Well said. A lot of fun visiting with you guys. Jerald Foster, Stanley Morgan, Mick Stoltenberg. Thanks a lot, guys. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, too.
Best of luck this year.